Most people quit carnivore way too early, and it's not because it doesn't work. It's because they don't fully understand exactly what's happening inside their body. I want to cover a few common pitfalls and also just some things to expect if you're really going to give carnivore a chance. First of all, you got to do it long enough for it to even work. If you only do it for 24 hours, obviously the benefits are not going to be seen. In fact, it may be nothing but viewed as bad, So at least for the first couple of weeks, first and foremost, if you've been on a diet that has consistently been having carbohydrates in any form, whether that's sugar or whether that's really starchy foods like rice and potatoes and bread and pasta, then your body's going to go through carb withdrawals. And those are real. Those are real. It's just like a withdrawal from drugs or alcohol if you become addicted or dependent on those. It's not going to be fun, but it's just part of the process. Also, early on, your body's detoxing. Don't interpret that as failure. When your body's getting rid of some of the toxins that it hasn't had the opportunity to remove because it's so focused on trying to deal with junk food and all the stuff that's going in. Well, now it can actually dedicate to that detox process. Don't chalk that up as failure. That's your body actually doing the dirty work of cleaning that up. And sometimes things get worse before they get better. Another thing, a lot of people, they'll hear people talk about how they heard about someone that went on the diet and they had, energy levels went up and mental clarity came. Well, that's not going to happen on day one. And it's probably not even going to happen in week one, to be honest with you, because your body, again, it's going to have to get acclimated to a new type of fuel. It's going to have to remove toxins. The microbiome is going to go through some changes, and some of those little bacteria that are down there that have been getting fed with sugar and some of these other things, they're not going to be able to survive in the absence of that. They are going to start dying off, and when they do, they release toxins, and you just don't feel so great. But the good news is that's the worst of it. If you can, know that on the other side of this, your body is going to be in a much cleaner, more efficient form. You're not going to have the insulin surges that are going to come in and cause you to have that 2 o'clock midday crash to where you're just kind of can barely keep your eyes open, even though an hour before you ate, 30 minutes to an hour before you ate, you were fine. You were wide awake. You eat this heavy carb meal, and then you get this huge insulin spike, and before you know it, you can't even keep your eyes open. That won't happen on carnivore. That's one of the best benefits, is that it's just stable and flat, and you just have energy all day long. So, my advice is that, keep all this stuff in mind. Don't think it's going to be a quick fix, and don't think you're just going to do it for a day or 2 or 3 and that it's going to show up. For some people, and it really depends on where you are metabolically to begin with. If you're someone who has been diagnosed with an autoimmune chronic inflammatory condition and you've been suffering for years, that was me. It's going to take longer. It's going to take longer because your body is so much further into that process to have to reverse back out of it. Your body can only do so much so fast. A lot of times it took probably years or maybe even decades for your body to decline into the state that it's gotten to. It's not just going to flip out of it in one day. But if you give it proper nutrition and you're not giving it any extra garbage, that gives your body the chance to, while you're awake, while you're asleep, while you're doing anything, it will decrease inflammation. And anytime you can remove inflammation, let me tell you right now, that's going to help you on every single level, from your energy levels physically. Your sleep usually improves. You're more optimistic. You're in a better mood. You have more, less brain fog, more mental clarity. Your relationships, you'll notice, just are smoother and easier. And a lot of times just even hard work, like, getting up and going to the gym to put some good stress on your body to make it stronger, doesn't feel like such a chore. You actually have the energy, and you're optimistic, and you just go get it done. That's what happened with me. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of the things I would have told you I didn't have brain fog until I tried this thing. And then the brain fog lifted, and it was only after the fact that I look back and go, wow, I did have brain fog, way worse than I thought. I did have energy problems, way worse than I thought. It was a roller coaster based off what I had eaten way more so than I thought. And so what it does is it kind of just gives you a sense of control. It also, for me, one of the bigger things that it did is it taught me the difference between hunger and cravings. Admittedly, I do have some unhealthy relationships with food, especially sugar, and I'm convinced it's a sugar addiction, because for me, I can go a month without sugar and I don't crave it one bit. Even though when I look at a cookie or a donut or a cake or ice cream or whatever, it looks good, I don't crave it to the point where I'm going to go actually buy it and eat it. But let's say it's a special occasion and I just decide, you know what, I haven't had this in a year or however long period, I'm just going to go ahead and indulge. Well, number one, when I choose to do that nowadays, I don't feel guilty about it. I don't beat myself up. I actually do indulge and I do enjoy every single bite. But I also am way more cognizant of the fact that awakens some sleeping monster inside of me, like Cookie Monster or the Sugar Monster or whatever you want to call it. Because as soon as I have one bite, I want every carb on the planet. Take me to a buffet and I will eat 10 pounds of carbs if you will take me. Whereas if you took me, on the same day and gave me 10 pounds of ribeye, there's no way. Or 10 pounds of, fish or 10 pounds of eggs or anything that's, not laden with sugar. And so to me, it taught me the difference between a craving and hunger. And knowing the difference between those two things is actually very good. One of the best benefits of doing a carnivore style diet is that it's an elimination diet. Think about not what you're getting. Yes, you're giving your body good proteins. Yes, you're giving your body good quality fats that cover all your essentials. But it's the removal. It's the removal of all sugars, of all grains, of all processed and ultra processed, artificial sweeteners, preservatives, all these different things that they're putting in these foods these days that are highly addictive. They make the food look good. They make the food taste good. It has the best crisp. It has the best pop. It gives you the biggest dopamine hit. So it's essentially like a drug. It really is. I mean, they have been designed to hijack your brain to where not only is it like super delicious, but you want it again. And you actually want it again very quickly. And what it'll do is it'll actually, the reason why it leads to obesity is because it's giving you empty calories. Yes, they're calories, but they're not in the form that your body needs to actually utilize it. So once you get it, you give it this and you're actually overfeeding, but undernourishing. You're malnourished, even though you're getting plenty of calories. And that's why your brain goes, listen, you ate, but we didn't get what I wanted. Go eat again. Well, what are you going to want to eat again? You're going to want to eat more of the problematic thing. I was fully addicted. I was on it. I mean, junk food is delicious. Processed food is, as far as just taste on the tongue, if that's all we were judging it by, it is phenomenal. But it is not good for our microbiome. It's not good for us on a molecular level, on a biological level. Physiologically, we're not going to thrive. Think if you were giving, the guy who you hired to build your house just shoddy materials, just, some of it was good, some of it was terrible. And you're like, and he's like, can you not just give me like the best raw materials to build your home as possible? And you're like, I'm here you go. What do you think? What's the quality of the house going to be? It's not going to be any surprise when it's subpar quality. So anyway, guys, I hope that kind of addressed some things. If you're thinking about giving carnivore a chance, give it a real chance. Give it at least 30 days. Know some of these common pitfalls that they give up too early because they just assume after just 1 or 2 days, I don't feel so hot. It must not be for me. That's normal. I mean, everybody goes through that. So if you're thinking about doing it, I would give it a 30-day tries at a minimum, and you be the judge. Give your body the chance to heal itself, see where it takes you, and you tell me. So anyway, guys, if you know anybody that needs to hear this message, please share it with them. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. And as always, stay good.